Hey, Mistwalkers! How's everyone doing?
Hello, good evening, Mistwalkers. Okay, remember your joke, Hideo, because we're about to do them heckin' introductions. Welcome to Tales from the Mists. It's a spooky campaign set in the domains of dread. With me tonight are six adventurers. I held up two fingers, but I assure you there are six of them. I just can't count. I'm from Kentucky. Let's go down the line and introduce ourselves. We're gonna start with Miss Hideo.
You told me to remember a joke, but I already forgot what joke it was because I have
Well,
so many jokes. I'm so sorry.
well,
Anyway,
Wait,
I'm Hadil.
Wasn't it about 69?
Yeah, was it
Kayla-
69?
Cut! Gosh,
I don't.
sorry, D&D.
Anyway, I'm Hadil.
This is a PG show.
That's a number. It's just a number.
Anyway, hi, I'm Hadil. I play your naughty boy Vargis, whose favorite number is 69 or 420.
this whole month is 420.
It is. Just magic missile it.
Welcome back.
Me. Goodbye.
Ms. Lisa, hashtag sorry Hasbro.
Yeah. I'm Lisa Penrose, and I play your heart of the party, Mercy Albrecht, a tiefling, storm sorceress, changeling, and she is scared. Also, I'm scared. I'm scared. Help.
That's fair.
Help
There's a
me.
lot happening. There's a lot happening
Just in
right
general.
now.
Yeah.
Ms. Kayla.
Hi, I'm Kayla, and I play Vasily, your sweet baby wizard, who never does anything wrong and is not scared of anything, but is quite sweaty.
Cool. Ms. Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I play Constantina, who I believe is still a werejackal right now.
Yes.
Also a Vistana bard when she's in her normal state. And yeah, I'm the mean one now, by the way. I'm trying a new thing where I'm mean instead of nice.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So
The
far
Sass gland.
it's okay, I guess. Could take it or leave it.
I think you're
Okay.
doing a real good job.
Thanks.
No,
Or,
Ashley!
I mean, yeah, I know I'm doing a good job.
All right, we'll work on it.
Okay.
Adequate. Ms. McKenzie.
Oh, hi. I'm Mackenzie Lane Day on Twitter. I play Sorrow, our small sweet shadow bean.
Shadow Bean. That's adorable. I like it.
It's normal.
And Mix Kiana.
Hi, super excited to be back here. Totally fine, everything's fine. Not worried at all, not at all. I play Neferet Shy, who is the Dusk Elf rogue. They're super chill. Everything's fine. I'll just keep saying that. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
If you say it enough times, it will be true. Not here.
It's
But
fine. It's cool.
Somewhere. All right. This is not a typical campaign. We have a rotating cast, which means we have 4 anchor members: Hadil, Lisa, Kayla, and Ashley. And then we have 2 rotating members. They come in every 4 episodes, so I have 2 episodes left. Who dies today? Our showrunner has our announcements.
Hey everyone, our main announcement is that, as always, we have a giveaway happening. If you type !recon, RECON, in the chat, you can enter to win one of our Mistwalker survival kits. That is a little goodie package with all sorts of Mistwalker swag in them. There's a beautiful postcard that Kayla designed, some dicey boys with our good son Nicodemus on them, matchbook menagerie matches, all sorts of goodies. So I see a bunch of people entering. Yeah, enter and win some from some fun giveaways. You've got to stick around in chat because near the end of the show, our moderator Jack starts pulling winners, and you have to respond in chat to let him know you're still there, so he can coordinate details with you. So good luck to everybody. I also wanted to take a few minutes just to remind folks who are watching that we use safety cards or safety bucks, depending on which ones you have printed out. So throughout the show, you'll see us hold these up. The little O with a question mark is if we're checking with each other if everyone's feeling okay. I feel like every role-playing game could totally use safety tools, but we are also a horror game, so they're particularly useful. And then people can reply with an N, which means like you're kind of getting close to me feeling not okay, but kind of okay so far. O means you're totally okay. And X is like, let's please move on. And any player can also just hold up any of these cards. You might think like the X card is the one that would be used the most to, because it's your prompting that you want something to change, but it's also good to just hold up the O card if something spooky's happening and you just want everyone to know you might look scared, but you feel okay. So if you're wondering what's all this stuff they keep holding up, it's our safety bucks. And I just wanted to tell folks that in addition to our safety tools, we also have a cooldown after the show. After we say goodbye to y'all, we spend a few minutes sharing what we call our stars and wishes. So favorite things that happened, things we're hoping for next session, and also chat, give everyone a chance to speak up if something happened in session that they didn't love. So you don't get to see those on camera, but we do those. We wanted to make sure you all are aware. And if you didn't know that sort of, it's not like a mechanic or anything. It's not a game thing. That sort of system existed. They do. And in fact, Kiana has my cat. Jesus. Okay.
I wish I had your
Yeah.
cat.
Wait, what?
Kiana has, I'm blanking on the word, gathered a bunch of these safety tools together in the RPG safety toolkit. So definitely check those out if you're interested in what we're doing here on stream.
Yeah, if the moths want to go ahead and post the link to that safety toolkit again, that would be awesome.
Clara, make up your mind, fuzzy girl. And then I kind of pass it back to TK. Here, take it.
Yeah, it's me. It's TK. And I think that we're about ready to move on to Auntie. But before we do, I want to talk for a minute about my beautiful dice because...
Can we all share what dice we're playing with?
Today, as usual, I am playing with my incredible sexy raised obsidian from Level Up. I have a new webcam, but wouldn't you know it, same old autofocus.
I've also got my level up dice, but I have I forget what it's called, lavender, white, jade. It's got all sorts of different colors in it.
Yeah, and if you want your own level up dice, then you should totally use our Diceomancy link, which our mods can share in the chat. It'll be awesome.
Kayla's got them spooky dice.
Yeah, I've got the Halloween level up dice.
Yeah, they
The
spooky.
amethyst to get
Alright.
negativity out of my bubble.
I think
What?
what?
That's what amethyst does, right? Keeps negativity out.
Okay, let's see what Auntie has
Yeah,
to
let's
say.
see what Auntie.
Oh, Mistwalkers. Yes, I'm just getting to my favorite part. It has everything a hag could want. Betrayal, battles, bloodshed. But enough about me. The last time we saw each other, our Mistwalkers were tiptoeing through the Court of Blood. An arena that was suspiciously silent, especially as they approached a guard room that was not all it seemed to be. There they met, well, reacquainted themselves with attempt number 1, Vasili's first homunculus. Rather different now. I'm sure they're not all like that. And when asked what number 1 was doing there, it replied only that it had been sent by number 6. to murder its mother. Luckily, children are easily placated. And the little doll sent it on its way. And so our Mistwalkers were free to sneak through the alleys of Mudar as the city came under siege, led by their new companion, Sorrow. What a sneaky little miss. They met with the Green Hand, a rather generous sect of former Matchbook Menagerie members. I wonder what they're doing in Mudar. Oh well, I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. After all, we have more pressing matters to attend to. There are hundreds of thousands of fiends roaming the streets of this one glittering city. And a dead man who walks, quite like he owns the place. Strange. And in all of this hustle and bustle, where is Vargis? I think we're about to find out. I hope you'll join me.
TK, take it away.
So, the last time we all saw each other, we went for a stroll, had a picnic, and had a sleepover at the Green Hand. Is that correct?
Yes.
Close enough.
Yeah?
What a delight. I would like to start with everybody waking up the next day. Constantina, if you would like to end your werejackal form, please make a roll on your compulsion table.
Okay. Okay, I got a 3.
Yeah?
Do I share it?
What's a number 3, Constantina?
A 3 means that I chase every small animal that I see.
Excellent. You must fulfill this compulsion until midday before you can turn back.
Okay.
Where did everybody sleep last night?
Are there beds and stuff here?
More like it's a really ragtag sort of resistance base. So yes, but they're more like cots and folded sheets that if you put together sort of make a mattress.
Oh, good. If we
They
don't
are beds if you believe in yourself and believe it with your whole heart.
They're beds if you have confidence.
Yes.
Okay. Mercy, after she is exhausted casting spells during her watch out the window, will choose a cot, prestidigitate it, and then fall asleep.
Fair.
Vasily sleeps seated with her arms crossed next to the door.
The grumpiest nap.
Yeah.
I like to think that when Constantina sleeps, it's like how a doggy sleep when they think that they're like running. In their
Oh,
dream.
cute.
And their little legs are like moving. And she's probably making like weird snarl noises.
Are you dreaming about chasing small animals?
Probably, yes.
It's adorable. Nephret?
Probably meditating in the stairway of that tower by the arrow slit that we discovered was called a loophole and other things. Because they're the one who doesn't need to sleep.
Yeah.
Nor do they get affected by anything. So
Now, you only need to meditate for about 4 hours, don't you?
correct.
So you spend 4 hours meditating, but what do you do for the other 4?
Keeping watch. Actually, sure, I'll spend an inspiration to activate my shadow.
What does this look like for you?
I think as Nephret is meditating, and they're coming out of that meditation, and it's still, Vargis still hasn't shown up, and so as they just take in a deep breath, they exhale, and as they do, you watch as their shadow at their feet that's cast by the bit of light from that small slot in the turret starts to bleed outwards and separate from their fingertips on the stone, their legs, and their feet until it drifts off by itself and slithers down the stairways, retracing steps back to the front door and starting to move out and about.
We're going to get back to that in just a moment. What about Sorrow?
Sorrow has the miraculous ability to sleep anywhere at any time, so she's probably curled up like in a window ledge. Like she's got like a pile of blankets that she was gonna like make into a bed, but then ended up just falling asleep like curled around it, like hugging it.
Like
And just
most
like that.
teenagers.
This was me. I literally could sleep on my backpack when I was in high school because this is me as a 17-year-old senior with no sleep in the school courtyard on my backpack, just there.
It's amazing. I would not have guessed.
I am a neurotic child.
I want to... Before we jump 8 hours into the future, I would like to move only 4. Vargis, the last time we saw you, you were slipping into the crowd of the auditorium, of the arena, the court of blood, and accepting bets on behalf of your fellow gladiators. You made off with how much electrum?
75 electrum.
You made off with 75 electrum. Now, Nephret at one point came to you and let you know that there was something on the horizon, something deadly and grotesque. There was an invasion on the way, and that they would meet you outside the arena. Vargis?
Oh, okay. I thought maybe something else was
No,
happening.
it's all right. I was about to ask you something.
Oh,
I
yeah.
paused for effect. You were
Okay.
right to be scared.
It's fine. I deserve it.
Did you leave the arena immediately?
Define immediately.
That's a no.
Okay. Did not.
What did you do instead?
Or checking under seats to maybe if people left their purses or something. in the rush to leave, sometimes if you stay out at like, a sports ball game, sometimes people leave things behind. You just want to make sure nobody else picks them up, because you're a good citizen. So just,
Would you like to roll an investigation or a perception to see if you find anything?
Let me see which one's better. I think maybe there's an investigation. Ooh. We'll do perception. You said perception?
Right. Yeah, you can roll perception.
19.
Excellent. You do find something. You find a small kid leather woman's glove.
Does it look really nice?
It looks impeccable, Vargis.
God.
It's black and it's got these very, we'll call them iridescent purple gems stitched into it. And the more you look at it, the more you realize that it is a riding glove. Feels expensive. Would you like to keep it?
Yes, I would. To keep it, just tuck that in my pocket. Can I do like a look around real quickly? Just a...
Yeah, give me another perception.
14.
What are you looking for in particular?
I want to find the owner of this very specific, ostentatious, even glove.
Well, their stealth is not particularly good, so you do see the back of a head with a long swinging white braid.
How far away are they?
How far away? They're moving pretty fast, probably about 100 to 150 feet.
I want to see if I can catch up.
Give me athletics.
6.
For some reason, they seem to be able to outpace you. You're not sure if it's their
For some
stride,
reason.
but you start to lose them in the crowd.
I will let them be lost to the crowd.
Okay. But as you lose them in the crowd, when you look around, you see that there's no Neferet, no Vasily, no Mercy, no Nicodemus.
Shit.
You are in the eastern quarter. All alone. Save for the hundreds of nobles around you.
I would like to see if there's anybody like who looks rich but stupid.
Rich but stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me an investigation. And how do you classify rich but stupid? Rich but foolish. Let's go with that.
Yeah,
naive.
Rich but foolish. Yeah, definitely naive. Not stupid, but naive. I want to find somebody who looks lost. Like a little lost, like maybe not entirely sure what to do next. Like maybe there's somebody that normally has like a handler, an entourage, maybe they got separated from the crowd. Somebody who has hired help. Somebody who looks like they would have hired help.
Okay, but not currently with them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll with advantage. You know what that looks like.
All right. So you said investigation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 16.
16 with advantage. Okay. So you do see a woman with a
with tousled black curly hair and what we will call olive skin, a deep, rich tan. And she has a three-stringed instrument strung on her back. And the way that she looks around, you see her raise her hand for a palanquin, and they pass her by. She'll glance to the side and try to get the attention of someone else, but they don't seem to be acknowledging her. She is dressed in bright clothing, and her jewelry is loud enough that you can hear it across the crowd. If you had to guess, you would say Vistani.
Okay. I will approach her and make myself known without like touching her. And I'll like give a sweeping bow, and I'll say, "Madam, please allow me to assist you here." And I will take out the really fine glove that I just picked out, and I'll like wave it like out in the road, in like to get the attention with the purple jewels facing out.
You come up to her and you speak to her, and she gives a little start, but when she lays her eyes on your face, her face breaks out in a wide smile, and she says, "Thank you so much. That is very gentlemanly of you."
Of course, absolutely. Where are you going, my dear? We will get you there right away. I don't want you to be run down by this crowd. You know how they can get after one of these matches.
Well, I really shouldn't say it. Well, I don't normally do the share rides with strangers. I don't even know you.
Oh, my mistake. I'm so sorry, my lady. My name is Vargis Blackstone, and I will reach out to take her hand.
And she puts a very petite hand in yours, and she says, "I'm Ursula."
Ursula, wonderful. Just charmed to meet you, and I will kiss her hand and be like, "I am your humble and obedient servant. Please allow me to escort you. I would hate to see you walking alone with among the rabble. That would just improper at worst, or improper at best, unsafe at worst."
A floating horseless carriage comes by, a small thing, sort of a sled type vehicle, and it stops where you are, and there is a coin slot in the door.
Will it take Electrum?
You know enough about the city now that you know everything here runs on Electrum or soul coins.
I'll take one of the, does it have like a price on it or something like that?
Do you read Abyssal? Or Infernal?
I do not.
There are prices listed, but without speaking one of those languages, it'd be very difficult to guess. There's always the tried and true method of just putting coins in it until the door opens.
I'll just do that. I'll just like put the Electrum in until it...
1 quarter at a time. It doesn't take long, about 4 Electrum.
Okay.
And she begins to climb in the carriage after hesitating for a moment. And she extends her hand to you. "Would you like to ride with me?"
Oh, that would... at the very least, I would like to be able to see you off to where you're going, knowing that you got there safely. And I will... well, I would have helped her into the carriage to begin with, but I also like step in and then close the door for...
I would dearly appreciate that. Now, this is, as I said, a sled. It is open. There is a door that swings in and out, but it is it's
open
an
on top.
Open sleigh, yes.
Okay.
And there are a few perfumed flower vases and a couple of saucers of clear water, a couple little small, what are those? You know what I'm talking about. What are those little balls that are kind of like no-bake oatmeal cookie drops, but...
Oh, like a truffle?
Yeah.
But or like a little bonbon or something like that?
No, but like more... I don't want to just generalize and say more Middle Eastern, but you know what I'm talking about.
Like, kind of like a Turkish delight or something. Like a little, okay.
Okay.
Yes. So I will immediately like offer her like a drink and one of these treats.
And she will politely accept it from you. Now, you ride in this sled for about 30 minutes through these crowded streets. About then is when the screaming starts.
Cool. I love it when they're screaming. Is it getting louder, or is it going? Or am I going away from the screaming?
It's hard to tell. It is definitely coming from multiple directions. The screaming is chaotic. It's feral. It's wild. It is the screaming of somebody who desperately wants to get away and knows that they will not. It is the desperation of dying men, cut off by the wet gurgle of what comes after.
We love a moist death rattle. We love to see it. Oh, sorry. I murdered a guest, finally. As
Thank
we're
you.
like,
That's all I ask.
it's all we want. A murdered guest. We love to see it. As we're driving through, can I take a look to see if there are any secure but nice looking buildings?
Are you more interested in them being nice or more interested in them being secure?
I will say secure just because they're screaming, so
Right. You can roll me survival. As you do, Ursula is pulling a saber out from behind her, and she lays it across her lap and leans over the side. I do not think we will be safe here.
I do not either. I did roll an unnatural 20.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming I still have the gun.
You do.
I will pull it out.
Why would you assume you didn't have the gun?
I don't know.
Where would it have gone? I'm not going to take the gun that we've worked so hard to get to you away.
Caleb busted ass to get this gun. But also, I'm an idiot. I did shoot her, so oops. Oopsie doodles. I will holster.
Yeah.
Because I always got that motherfucking thing on me. It was gonna happen. You did this to yourself. Yeah, I will pull it out, and with a survival check, what do I see? Of 20, just remember.
Of a 20, yeah. What you see is that you are, first of all, nowhere near where you should be. After 30 minutes with a survival check of 20, after 30 minutes of riding in this sled, you have not left the East District. If you had to guess, like, the Court of Blood is only about 2 blocks away from where you are. For some reason, this sled has been going in circles.
Oof, gotta love Evan Sprawl. But do I see like a secure...
You do see multiple warehouses. This is where a lot of, shall we call them essential workers, tend to house themselves.
All right, I will. How would I stop the sled?
You could probably just tell it to stop.
All right, I'll
Ursula gave it commands for an address, but other than that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll like hit it or something to get it to stop.
Mm-hmm. And it on your verbal command to stop, it does cease.
All right. I will fling the door open and jump out, and then offer my hand to Ursula.
Ursula takes your hand with a strong grip and jumps out of the sled.
We love to see it. And then I will guide her towards the nearest like warehouse or something.
Mm-hmm. There is a warehouse within about 100 feet of you, no windows on the bottom level.
Is there like a door or like a door or one of like the only thing I can think of is like a garage door, but like
yeah, there are lifting grates to open and close because I can't think of the name for them, but whatever.
Like a portcullis?
Sure.
Okay.
But it has a lever, and it is a lever system, so it does go up and down very slowly. I will tell you that already.
All right. Well, I will go ahead and go to the lever that I'm assuming is not up and push it up? Or is it like just
Just
one
the one.
lever? Okay,
Yeah, it's like
then I will.
Skyrim. It's just the one.
Oh,
Because I don't understand how mechanics work for doors.
me neither. I'm not an engineer.
And Ursula will hurriedly pat your shoulder and point down the street. And that is when you see this gaping beast, this large, monstrous, toad-like creature with many, many teeth. And when I say gargantuan, I mean that it could, if it so desired, hold the whole of the warehouse inside of its stomach.
Cool. Still gonna go in the warehouse.
It opens its mouth, and a stream of cackling fiends begin to pour out of its maw into the street.
Dope. If the gate has like raised up any at all?
It has started to, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna see if like I'm gonna coax Ursula to like slide under it.
Mhm.
And so it's like a grate, right? Like I would be able to fit my arm through it.
Yes.
Okay, so once she's able to slip under, I will do the same. And then I would like to reach through the bar and lower it again.
Okay. When you reach through that bar and you hear that chain sort of shudder to a stop, you hear a groan from the gears, and then it in the other direction. Now, this grate, this portcullis, is not checkerboard. It is only vertical spikes. And it starts to come down, and that is when you see the first spray of blood and gore just cascade across the building.
Cool.
That is when you start to see these nobles that, perhaps not so easily bamboozled as Ursula, are torn to pieces, silk just shredded into nothingness, their bodies reduced to so much meat and marrow. That is where a shadow finds you. Nefret.
Yeah. The shadow slithers through cracks and underneath door frames and wherever else shadows can go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looking for Vargis. And
the shadow sees Vargis pull this lever, and these spikes come back down again from across the way. But it also sees these thousands of fiends.
is the coast clear at the moment?
Not super clear.
The shadow is going to slither across the street and underneath the spikes.
Give me a stealth check.
Cool. Natural 20.
Hey! Beep, beep, beep. That's good because I rolled high.
Yeah.
So, you do narrowly slip through. It's interesting how easily it is to hide in this viscera, this shed skin, these broken bones, these torn carcasses that are so casually tossed aside like a child's discarded plaything. You slip through those bars, you find a man with a pistol and his Vistani companion. And this woman, this Vistani companion, has her saber out and she grips his shoulder hard and says, if we're to get anywhere safe, we have to leave here. I have associates not too far from here in a fort.
I'll turn, like, what kind of associates? Like, associates? Or, like, associates?
The Green Hand, but they do not like outsiders. Do you travel alone?
I mean, I do see anybody else with me, to be honest. Divine travel, I suppose. Currently alone, yes, right now.
She sort of frowns at you when you say that. Do you want to do me a favor and roll deception?
Yeah. Deception. 24.
Okay, she got an 18 on her insight, so she can't quite decide if you're lying.
Nobody can. I can't.
Join the club, Ursula.
Get in line, Ursula. Nobody knows.
Yeah. Well, I know the way from here if you would like to accompany me.
Is there a way to get there without going in that mess?
Of that I am not sure.
Well, let's take a peek around, see if there's a back way.
While you are doing that, I would like to jump back to the fort. Hello, my dears. We've reached the end of your long rest as Vargis, Ursula, and a shadow try to scope out a warehouse and hide from the fiendish hordes outside. Who wakes first?
Not Constantina.
Yeah, let's
Established
be.
she sleeps in.
Yeah, let's be
Yes.
honest.
Neferet's already awake. Has been awake for 4 hours.
I feel like Bosley would be the next one to be awake.
I would be one of the earlier ones because this is my home, so I'm like I don't feel as uncomfy. I'm able to fall really quickly into the routine.
Right, then Mercy after that.
Okay.
And she'll like wake up and stretch. Firstly, I had the weirdest dream that there were all these monsters in the streets and everybody was dead and we were in a gross, terrible place and oh, good morning, Sorrow.
Thank you. The gross and terrible are words for it.
I'm sorry, it's just a little messier than I'm used to.
It takes some getting used to, really. I've been here for a while, so understandable.
Mm-hmm. What are your plans for today? I know that you had discussed going out into the city.
I would like to walk over to one of the arrow slits and peek outside.
Oh yeah.
What's going on out there?
Take a little peek.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're looking for in particular, or are you just looking for like a sort of overview of the situation?
Right now, an overview of the situation. I'm trying to see if the chaos is still happening.
Everyone is dead. No. So what you do see is there are fires raging throughout a couple of the quarters. There are bodies in the street, but not for long. Every time you see someone fall, you can not quite hear, but what is that sensation when you see something from far away and you get that urge, that sort of sense of hearing as their backs break and their heads spin around and they rise where they fell.
Mercy's not okay with this.
Lots of people are not.
Yeah, Mercy's particularly not okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! And I'm going to run to Vasily, and I'm just going to start shaking her. The apocalypse is here! The apocalypse is here! I don't understand.
You're just now realizing this?
I mean,
What's changed?
I mean, everybody was dying, and that's bad, but you know, okay, we could go outside, we could draw circles around them, we could fix these. But now, they are coming back to life. Or undeath.
Like, multiple of them?
All of them, Vasily.
All of them.
All of them.
Vasily would like to go observe, or go to the arrow slit and observe this, and maybe try to also suss out if there's like a source causing them to rise.
If you are specifically looking for a source, roll investigation with advantage, because you looked through the murder holes yesterday. I refuse to call them loopholes. It's silly.
18.
With an 18, you can see these multiple people fall and then shudder and stop and shatter their own bones, struggling to stand up. You can see the spindly legs of enormous creatures as they reach over the tops of buildings and scoop people from the streets into their yawning mouths. You can see the cascades of blood as they wash over the sides of these tiled roofs. But you do not see the dead man who led a crowd of corpses in his wake the day before.
I did not.
Not today.
Okay. But I saw him yesterday.
You did see him yesterday, but you did not see him today.
So I wouldn't connect the two, probably, in that case.
Do you see them? Have they stopped? Is everything okay now?
Vasily kind of like turns back around and like casually leans her arm over the arrow slits, like, I think it's improving.
Really?
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just like completely blocking them, like, yeah, I mean, it seems like less.
Why is this happening?
You probably, I don't know, you know, maybe do some prayers or something. Maybe that'll help. Just casually puts her arm over all the arrow slits.
I don't understand. So we've sacrificed so many people, and my family has too. It was supposed to stop the apocalypse.
Well, we're in a different place now, so maybe different rules. Maybe it's reset here, maybe?
That's true. Sorrow, Neferet, how many people have you sacrificed?
Valid question. Just,
Sarah does the "it's too early for this" and like turns around and walks away.
I see the problem.
Insufficient sacrifices.
Yeah, I think Neferet walks down from further up in the turret, and like probably right between Vasily's arm and like the wall, just like peeks their head through that gap. It is not personal sacrifices, but and with the whole we're conscripted into the blood war thing, that was a sacrifice to keep the city safe.
Des is mad. Des is very, very mad.
Well, I'm not personally. I'm not really a killing person. Not my thing. So I don't think that this hasn't caused anything before, though. So
sometimes you have to do things you do not like for the greater good. Like ritual sacrifice.
Okay. Debatable. But yes, agree with the larger point. Yeah. Good morning.
Oh no, what are we going to do? We have to stop the apocalypse now.
Well, does anyone know how long this is going to last? Is this like a thunderstorm and we just have to wait for it to pass, or?
I mean, in general, this shouldn't be happening.
Oh.
We shouldn't have fiends and stuff. That's why the whole, when you die, you end up in the blood war. Woohoo! Skeleton army sort of thing.
Who made this deal?
This is a terrible deal.
Who thought this was a good idea?
The houses many, many years ago. It was the only way to avoid things like this happening, to avoid the blood war from bleeding over into the city.
Mercy is going to walk over to Constantina, who I guess is sleep running. I'm going to gently kind of jiggle her while she sleeps. Constantina! And I also pet her a little bit while I'm doing it.
Okay, I'll stop.
No, keep going, keep going.
You pet her and you begin to wake her, but in the moments between sleep and waking, Constantina, you tap into a familiar feeling. Not quite a dream, but not quite awake either. And for some reason, you are at home, but not home. The feeling of home, the sense of home. A garden with roses and strawberries. A middle-aged matron who swings back and forth on a canopy swing and sips tea from a porcelain cup. Was there something you wanted to ask me?
Well, I mean, I don't really know how it works to ask you things.
You have called me. I am here. You may as well speak. We have not much time.
I just don't really know what to do. I killed somebody and I didn't mean to, but I don't think that matters whether I meant to or not.
Have you never killed?
I mean, I feel like I'm sure I fought things in battle, usually for self-defense, but I don't go out of my way to do it, and I don't do it to people who aren't actively hurting me. I don't know. I just don't know how I move on from that, or what I should do to make it right.
Here, sit with me. And she pats the canopy seat next to her. Who will forgive you if you make it right?
I mean, I just want to do right by the person that I killed. I don't know who it was, but I don't think that they deserved it. And
what does that mean, make right?
I don't know. I just don't want to just kill people.
Of course. You know what it means to do wrong. But what does it mean to do right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can undo it.
You cannot.
So I don't know. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they have a family. I mean, I don't think I deserve forgiveness because I feel like I did wrong. I also wasn't in my right state of mind. I don't know. I don't know what to do. And what if it happens again? Like, I don't want to be a danger. I'm supposed to help people.
And she gives you a long, slow nod. This woman, this fate, who you had previously seen, once an older crone, but now younger, stronger shoulders, straighter back, darker hair with streaks of silver. And she cannot smile at you, but she does set a hand on your hand. And Constantina, there are forces in this world that you will never understand. I will never understand. And forgiveness is one of them. And perhaps every person is worthy forgiveness, but not every person is entitled to forgiveness. Do you understand me?
Yes, I understand that.
In this case, where you have done something outside of your control, the first question you need to ask is, can you forgive yourself? And that is not something that you can answer today or tomorrow, but I certainly cannot answer it for you. I cannot give you absolution.
I don't know what I am doing right now. I don't like being so, I feel like I have to really look out for myself right now, but I don't like being so focused on just myself, but I'm no good right now to anyone else.
Fate cannot force your hand. It places you only where it needs you. But I will warn you. Some things are separated for a reason. Sometimes two halves cannot be made whole. Do you understand?
I don't know if I do.
That is all right. We are nearly out of time, but watch your friend. She has made 2 deals that will not go well for her.
Wait, which friend?
And there is a sense over you where you can feel that she means mercy.
Okay.
And she says, I cannot tell you everything that I know. Otherwise, the tapestry becomes unraveled. But remember that sometimes fate has intervened for a reason. And in seeking to change it, sometimes it brings only more suffering. You must wake now.
Okay.
And you do.
Constantina! The apocalypse is happening. Wake up!
What? I don't know what
Outside.
any of that means. What?
Remember the monsters
time is it?
and what time is it?
Early morning. It's hard to tell because you are not used to being
True.
here and the sky is red.
Time is
I
meaningless.
don't know. It's maybe I woke up naturally. Usually I do around 8. It's 8, maybe 9. Does that matter? It's apocalypse time.
Okay.
Apocalypse o'clock.
Okay. Oh God, I'm so hungry. Is there like any meat or anything? Are there any rats in this room? In
Yes.
This building? Yes.
Yes, so many probably.
Only rats. Oh, I can't believe I missed a chance at an apocalypse now joke. I'm so mad. That's the real evil.
Man, I tried to signal you with my eyes.
The Green Hand doesn't have a lot of money right now, or ever.
Yeah.
Or we don't have money to exterminate rats.
Oh yeah, tons of rats.
Can I chase a rat and then eat it?
Give me
Cute.
I'm hungry. Don't shame me.
give me 2 athletics checks and 1 acrobatics check in a row.
Okay. As I'm still partly jackal, right?
Oh yeah, you're demi jackal. You gotta chase some. You gotta chase some little ratties.
Okay. All right.
This is to determine how many you catch.
Okay, so it was. I'm sorry, 2 acrobatics and 1
2 athletics, 1 acrobatics.
Okay.
Chase them, corner them, catch them.
Sorry, Mercy. I know this is exactly how you wanted me to react by grossly eating a rat in front of you. Hang on, I'm looking at my werejackal stats. Let's see. 1 is strength and 1 is dexterity, right?
Mm-hmm. So strength,
dexterity.
Okay. So that is 16 for the first one, 12 for the second one. So those are my strengths, and then not good dexterity. 7 for dexterity.
All right.
I eat a yummy breakfast.
So I rolled 2 7s and a nat 1. Roll a d6.
Uh-oh. 4.
That is how many rats you catch.
So Mercy wakes me up and I'm like a little not sure what the heck is going on, and I'm just like overcome by this like hunger, and I just am like scurrying around as Mercy's talking to me. I'm just grabbing rats and shoving them into my jackal mouth.
Ew, Constantine, another fun! Why are you doing these?
I'm just like, I'm really hungry, and like they look kind of like, they look a little tasty, okay? Like, don't judge me. Okay, look.
They are tasty, Constantina.
Delectable.
They're like dark meat on chicken. They have small bones that are incredibly... Yeah, they have small bones.
It's like eating at Popeyes.
As one sort of escapes Constantina, Sarah's gonna just like sort of snap their fingers, and a shadow hand's gonna grab up and grab one of the rats that had run away and cast Chill Touch on it, and then toss the dead rat over to
Constantina. Once you have eaten your fill, you are free to transform back.
Mercy. Okay, I know that was really gross, but like
it's very gross.
I know, I'm sorry, but like I feel a lot better, and I think I can transform back into my normal self. So like, just give me a second, and then we'll have like a normal conversation, and it won't be so bad. I promise. Okay.
Slurps up a little rat tail like spaghetti.
Mercy's gonna go stand behind Vasily and be like, Constantina's being feared.
Vasily's like kind of blushing a little bit.
This explains a lot about Vasily's experience.
Yeah, this is wretched. Okay,
a lot about her. All right.
I would like to turn back into my.
You are free to
my
do
cute
that.
self.
Yeah,
my...
you are free to change back into your embroidered monogrammed pajamas that are ripped to thread.
Oh no, I have one request, that when I transition back into Constantina form, that she has like a little gray streak of curl in her hair after this very traumatic transition. But it's like cute, like it's like Claire Saffitz from Bon Appetit. Okay,
it's incredibly adorable.
It's like this.
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yeah, it's just a very becoming
cute
streak.
It's
of
like
gray.
I can't remember the character's name, but from Discworld, Death's apprentice or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'll have
It's
to look
cool.
that up, but yes.
Yeah, Terry Pratchett. Dang, what is her name? It doesn't matter, but she's got like a white streak. It's very cute. So, after you have transformed back and you've gotten cool gray streak, I believe Mercy has your things. Mercy, do you provide them to her?
I do. I was waiting for you to transform back so you didn't destroy Sam. And I give them back to her.
Your nice clothing is in there.
I'm so relieved. I didn't know where
And
any
your
of my...
violin.
Thank you so much. I thought I left everything back at the room. I didn't know where anything was, and I am going to like put decent clothes on and put my cool violin bandolier thing.
It was no problem. Usually I can't carry so much, but I feel, I don't know, stronger lately.
I mean, you look really like muscly right now.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it looks good.
I flex.
Yeah. It's very adorable. The most powerful magical girl.
It is good to meet you in your normal form, Constantina.
Hi. Yes, this is what I usually look like. So I apologize for, my state in the last day or so. It is.
It made it very easy to point you out. They kept calling you my friend who looked like a dog.
I mean, it hurts my feelings a little bit, but I guess that's fair and accurate. But it's nice to meet you. Like,
It's also very vague because a lot of people have dog heads in this
Yeah.
city.
Yeah, look. There's other descriptors.
I mean, Nefert's literally wearing a jackal half mask right now. Like, they have no place to talk.
Sometimes I do forget that she's wearing a mask, and so I have to like translate it in my head that she's like Bane.
Yeah, they just casually wear this mask. It's cool.
I just imagine everything Neferin says is slightly muffled, just like
Slightly muffled.
Ew.
Yes, your friends were looking for a dog.
Stop!
Bane voice. I was forged in the darkness.
Oh no.
I didn't see the sun until I was a man.
I'm calling the police. I just want everybody to know.
Anyway,
The police are at the.
we
block
were
party at
talking
my house.
about the apocalypse that's happening outside right now. It's the end of the world. All of the domains are sinking back into the grey realms, and soon we will all die and rise up and join Death's army.
Let's not do that.
I
And do
agree.
something better instead.
I think we should stop the apocalypse. Let's have a team meeting. And Mercy raises her hand. Everyone who wants to stop the apocalypse, raise your hand.
How is it only... Okay, that's more realistic. Okay, wait, so Vargis is here with us, by the way?
Vargis is not here.
Stop the apocalypse.
Yeah,
Adil wants to go to the mall, so.
I don't have a vote, but I also don't want to stop the apocalypse. So
Yeah.
So Mercy raises her hand, Constantina raises her hand, Sorrow and Neferet look confused and then raise their hands.
Yeah.
Peer pressure.
And
guess.
Nefret's just like, well, likely it's not going to be as simple as it seems to be. Not simply solved by ritual sacrifices.
That's more of a preventative measure.
I mean, we would have had to start doing that like a couple weeks ago, and now it's like kind of, and then
It's
So
like
you were okay with the ritual sacrifice, but not the rats.
Oh, no, I don't eat the people. Mercy looks at Sorrow like she is the weirdest.
So Sorrow looks at Mercy like she's the weirdest.
Vasily.
Yep. She's just like got her hands in her pockets like, I am not voting for this.
Vasily, what are you doing? Raise your hand. You forgot to raise your hand. It's okay.
I didn't.
What?
I don't know that this is... Okay, I don't know that this is the apocalypse. I don't think that we can necessarily stop it. I think we need to do a bit more research before we run headfirst into that. And she like gestures towards the arrow slit.
Yeah. And Nefret like inclines their head and gives Vasily a look, acknowledging their conversation they had the previous night, and that this is the direction they're going.
Yeah.
It looks just like the apocalypse, so all
There,
the
but-
people rising from the dead.
We don't know exactly what's going on. I think we should figure that out first. And I think that our new friend Neferet might be able to help us with that.
You know how to stop it?
If I knew how to stop it, I feel like I would have started that already. But no, Vasily and I got a good look at somebody who is potentially at the center of this.
You saw death? Mercy holds her little cross rosary.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say yearbook. Like he's gonna
Yearbook.
sign
Oh
it.
my
like,
God.
The autograph.
No, I don't.
Sorry,
it was
please
just, I think it was just a man. Death is not just a man.
Not just a man, unfortunately. You said that you saw the dead rising up, yes?
Yes, everybody, every single one.
Well, the man that we saw, or the thing that looked like a man, it was able to deal with both fiendish and abyssal creatures, and seemed to have some form of necromantic undead aura. If I was to guess anything, that is who we should know more about. And that is likely who eventually we would have to confront. Hopefully with enough information up our sleeves to do it smart and not get ourselves killed.
I vote for that plan, the not dying plan.
Can I change my vote to that one? I like that one.
To specify, I said we were voting to stop the apocalypse, not have. So we're voting for the same thing. We're all voting for the same thing. I win.
I mean, that technically is the same thing. I feel like we all have the same goal here. It's just the methods that are different.
My goal is just getting out of here alive, apocalypse or not.
The whole point,
sure.
Vasily, is that if it is the apocalypse, none of us get out of this alive.
Fine, but we need to gather information on this individual.
He could be Des. I've never met Des in person. Or it could be a Dark Lord.
Well, that actually kind of makes sense. I mean, we have a lot of those in Ravenloft, and we haven't really encountered one in a while. So we're probably due for, a meeting with the Dark Lord, right?
Mercy starts to feel a little uncomfortable and is visibly uncomfortable as they talk about Dark Lords because she murdered Vasily's dad.
Yeah, y'all haven't encountered a Dark Lord in 8 episodes. It's been forever.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We're due for another one.
Okay. Sorrow, Neferet, where can we start looking? How can we safely go somewhere and get some information?
Well, I mean, I don't really... This is kind of where I live. This is my sort of, base of operations. So, I mean, I can probably ask some of the other members of the Green Hand and send them off. They've got, we've all got a little bit of our own talents and gifts in that area. I can ask a couple, see what they've done and scouted out. But if you're really concerned about being safe, you might want to stay here, as gross and uncomfortable as it might be.
I mean, it's very nice of you to let us stay here. We are missing one of our friends, though.
Do you think Vargis is okay?
I don't know. I don't really know, how to... If we're not going to leave to go find him, I mean, I don't know. He could be anywhere in the city.
If I was to make a good guess, he's likely on his way here now. He's a smart man.
That seems about right.
Are you...
Is he though?
Hey,
Sure.
Vasily knows that Vargis is a very lucky person. Maybe not smart or clever, but lucky.
He's clever.
Neferet is... well, rather, the shadow is keeping Neferet informed.
Vasily kind of looks at her feet and rolls her eyes and sighs, and she's like, I will also see what I can find out. And she wants to go kind of sit down in the corner and use inspiration to tap into the hive mind and try and contact the 2 new children.
Okay, so 2 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you cut out the other children that are in this domain?
If I'm able to, yes. I don't know what that would cost me to keep out.
I will tell you the price later.
Wow. Okay, that's fine. I'll take it.
Or you could just let them listen in. Up to you.
No. Yeah, I will deal with the price later.
All right. I will take 2 of your memories.
Okay, I need to keep track of that. Oof.
Yep.
I feel like we should talk about what those should be, but we could talk about them later.
We will. Don't worry.
But yes, I would like to
no,
spend
I
my
worry.
inspiration to tap into try and talk to them, since they are the most familiar with this domain. They're going to be experiencing whatever we're experiencing, to see if they can give me information.
Tap in.
Beep boop beep boop.
Beep boop beep boop. Do you have a command word or anything that you say, or you just put your hands to
she
your
definitely
head?
like puts her hand to her head like Xavier.
Xavier. Do you speak first, or do you wait for them to pick up?
I assume that they are probably pretty eager to pick up when they feel her calling. Could be wrong, but that's the impression I get.
All right.
Yes. It's me.
What do you want?
Just wondering, have you looked outside lately?
Oh yeah, we're on the train out.
Okay, well, I'm not.
Okay.
What's going on?
I don't know. Looks like the wall's down, so we're gonna no.
What wall?
The Mudar wall, the one around that keeps the devils out.
So what happened to the wall?
I don't know. It's just not there anymore. Sucks.
Did you see anything?
Nah.
Okay. God. We saw a figure that was potentially doing something with dead bodies. Do you know anything about that?
Like Grandpa?
Grandpa. No.
Yeah,
more.
He is implying like making flesh golems.
Right. No, not like that. Like somebody is dead and then they're not dead.
Oh, that still sounds like Grandpa, Mom.
Oh my God. Forget about Grandpa.
Okay. Woo. Yikes.
Like someone's dead and then they bring them back from the dead. Not like
they
Grandpa.
Just pop up.
Yeah, they just pop up. Have you ever seen anybody do that? Don't say Grandpa.
Okay. Aunt Maggie can do it. Some of them in the temple can do it, and Grandpa.
Oh, I said don't say Grandpa. We're not talking about him. So, what temple are you talking about?
Oh, the big one.
What big one?
The big one, Mom. The big one, and you get a picture in your mind of it, of this large, obsidian pyramid with a glass dome on top.
Also, I just got here and you left, so give me a break.
Yeah, Hall of Justice. I mean, they used to. They probably don't anymore. There's not really call for it. But, sometimes when rich people go like, they just have Aunt Maggie pick them back up before they can get conscripted. Super expensive.
Interesting. Okay, well, thanks, I guess. Are you leaving for good? Are you coming? Does the train come back? Are we going to be able to take the train out of here?
No.
So you're leaving me here?
I mean, you've left us plenty of places, Mom. It's not like a new thing. And you'll be fine. You're smart.
I gave you life. I would...
Oh,
Stop
Mom,
pretending.
I wish I could...
This isn't... We're still connected. You know that, right?
Yeah, I just kind of helped you hang up.
Ugh. So she like shuts off the connection and like
I
seethes
love
a
these
little
fucking
bit.
kids.
So I guess
These are my
everyone else experienced Vasily just like shouting at herself, like, "Stop saying grandpa!"
Yeah. So the information that you have gleaned from him, from a DM and story perspective, is Madame Magdalene would raise rich people from the dead to keep them from being conscripted into the blood war, and the Temple of Mudar funded and allowed it and practices the same magic. Other than that, not a lot. Oh, and that all the trains are on their way out of Mudar.
Yeah. So I will kind of get up and walk back over to everyone and say, we're in trouble. There's no way out of here. I was told the wall is down, and perhaps we can look for quote unquote Aunt Maggie or a big temple that looks like an obsidian pyramid.
Sorrow and Neferet, you both know that the wall being down is the magical field that keeps the magical anti-magic field, whatever, anti-fiend field that keeps fiends out of Mudar. Oh. If it is down, that means the pact has been broken.
Well, that would explain it.
So what do we do?
Well, if the wall's down and the pact's broken, then someone broke it, right?
Would have to be. It was a long-standing deal.
Can we go find the person who broke it and make them put it back together?
Not quite sure that is how deals work.
Does that mean somebody died, but they really, really died? They didn't join the blood war?
Potentially. But, seeing that someone is raising them from the dead instead, not sure if their souls are going anywhere much better.
I mean, good news, I don't think it's the apocalypse.
It doesn't sound quite like the apocalypse, but I don't think it is better. It's still Death's armies, even if the world isn't ending. And it might still end if we don't do something. So I still think we should. And Vasily, you gave me an idea. We should use all our resources. I'm going to go outside. But just for a moment. I'll be back, I think. But in case I'm not, I wanted to tell you something, Vasily and Constantina. When I was with Aunt Maggie, she introduced me to a woman who was in her attic. This is sounding crazy. It wasn't crazy. She might have been a ghost. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Wait, what? When was this?
I think you were, you didn't come to dinner, and you were downstairs and transforming maybe. But that evening, I went up to the attic, and the woman said that she could tell me who my family is. And I said I would do anything to find out. And now I know. And she said, and Vasily, I'm so sorry. She said that I am the daughter of this man named the Gentleman Caller and a woman named Elise. Avshalomov. But married to the Mortenheims.
And Bosley does not remember that you killed her candle dad.
Yeah.
No.
So she's just like, why
Vasily
are you
doesn't-
apologizing?
But Vasily, if you forget that whole memory, do you also forget that Mercy knows you're a Mordenheim? Or do you still hold on to that knowledge? Because she found out when they all met Victor.
Yeah, I guess she wouldn't know that because if she forgets that whole scenario, I would assume it would be all of that knowledge. But I defer to TK.
Yeah, I would say that you did not comprehend the fight at the crematorium as being a fight with your foster father. So right now you would probably interpret this as a conversation that Mercy's having, saying that she is essentially your stepsister, but still apologizing to you.
Right.
Though she has no reason to know that she would be your stepsister.
Right. So I'm just going to... So Vasily's going to look at her and be like, I don't know why you're apologizing, but that's certainly interesting considering my history, which we can go into another time. How do you feel about all this?
But do you mean that we can go into another time?
I don't know. I've never told you about where I come from. I don't tell people about it.
But I suppose it's true you didn't technically tell me about it, but Mercy's just like very confused and looking at Vasily weird.
Vasily's really confused and like, okay, well, I think the bigger thing is Avshalomov, right? And Vasily like gestures at Constantina. Whatever Constantina's doing, whatever face she's making, I'm sure it's ridiculous. She's like, well,
It's true. Elise was in Avshalomov if we Stana, but she ran away.
I mean, that happens. Our clan is pretty big, so I have, like, a lot of relatives. Real quick, though. Does Constantina remember all the stuff with Mordenheim?
Yes.
Because she's gonna probably put her foot in her mouth right now.
The only person who has no memory of Mordenheim being the person that you fought in the crematorium would be Vasily, because her memory of it has been erased.
Okay, but I remember that we met someone named Mordenheim, and then we, melted him.
yeah, shoved him into a furnace.
You can't be mad about it. You don't remember.
I know.
Yeah. Also, his weird creature tried to kill me, so I feel zero guilt about it. So anyway, back to the in-game conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, that's really cool. I mean, I'm excited to welcome you into the family, and I have lots of recipes to share.
Oh,
But
thank
wait,
you.
the part that I'm a little confused about is the Mordenheim part, because I thought that we, melted him because he was bad, and the menagerie wanted to, take him out. So I don't...
It's true. I did kill Victor Mortenheim twice now.
No, you didn't.
I mean...
Are you okay, Vasily?
Yeah, I'm fine. You wouldn't be able to kill him.
I thought that you forgave me.
She's kind of like finding this amusing and actually smiling and laughing a little bit. She's like, you wouldn't be able to kill him. You can't kill him. He's flawless. You can't kill him.
Flawless is that's a really nice term, but not true, because he was kind of also, we met Lady Elliot and we went there and she tried to give me up thinking that I was somehow related to him, but then that was somehow your dad or something like that, and then he then I turned into a werejackal and it was real bad, and then I almost died, and then instead we killed your dad, but it wasn't really your dad, it was
talking. So Vasily's memory is the same, but it's of them killing the other wizard, right?
Yes, of them specifically killing a necromancer named Meridoth.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was an M name. So you're getting very mixed up. It wasn't even that long ago. That was Meridoth. It wasn't Mordenheim. You wouldn't be able to kill Victor Mordenheim. And she's just like chuckling.
Something's wrong with Vasily, I think. And Mercy's gonna pace forward and press her horned forehead against Vasily's forehead and cast Detect Thoughts if Vasily will allow her.
She's gonna be like, yeah, sure. You need to obviously get your head on straight, because we kill Mordenheim.
I imagine whatever the inside of Vasily's mind, like bubbles with memories floating around, look like. Mercy's like swimming around in there trying to find the one of that day.
Different vials.
Yeah.
With,
yeah. Just rows of
names.
vials. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Vasily, what does she find when she tries to find that day?
I think she would find it, but it's probably like if the memories are bubbles, this one's like dirty pavement water bubble. It's kind of like gross and mucky and hard to kind of suss out, but the Vasily would see it the way that Vasily's saying that it happened. So
yes. You see a man in dark robes, wizard-like. The crematorium, flesh golems made from bloated bodies, and you see the two of you and Vargis, being able to force him into a furnace while Vasily and her son were incapacitated by golems while Constantina was incapacitated. Afterwards, you're not sure where in Vasily's memory, she doesn't quite remember Elliot and Madame Shri disappearing, but everything is seamless, and this is the memory that you're presented with.
Mercy kind of has this intake of air as she kind of floats back into her body. And she kind of looks at Vasily, this like really sad, worried look. And she'll turn to Constantina and just kind of shake her head to signal that there is something wrong with Vasily. You're right, Vasily. Sorry for the mix-up. But I'm glad that you know now the truth, and that you accept me for who I really am. Thank you. Like I said, I should be right back.
okay.
So I don't mean to be so dramatic.
It's okay.
And Mercy is going to slip out the door.
Mercy, where do you go?
Mercy is just trying to stealthily walk among the gore and ruin. And her goal is, and she's holding her dagger, her Briar Athame.
Mm-hmm.
And her goal is to pull on the threads of her dark shadow, her gravesite, to see if she can see the deaths that have happened, as far as she can see if she can see that man that Nefret mentioned, see what information she can gather.
Is this something you're comfortable with being described to you?
Yes.
Okay. As you leave the fort of the Green Hand and begin to stealthily step out into the city, first of all, roll me a stealth check. No reason.
Do I add anything to it?
Do you
It's a 4 on the die. A 7.
Neat. You're fine.
Okay.
As you step out into the city and you start to pull on the threads and look specifically for deaths, it has been so long since you saw deaths but no ghosts. Because souls don't really go anywhere in Ravenloft, do they? not until they're pulled into Death's army. They sort of linger for as long as they need to, but there's nowhere for them to really go. So many of them remain where they have died. That is the case in every other place you have been, but here you only see these bodies broken and beaten and bloodied, and then rising up with no ghosts. Nothing to steer them and nothing to stay behind and give you any answers. But they do all go north towards the Temple of Mudar, towards that glittering pyramid in the distance. Your bell rings louder and louder, but you don't really see any shadows of the man.
Okay. I was just about to ask about the bell on my dagger. After observing that and the direction everyone is walking, Mercy will return to the Green Hand.
Okay.
So you're all going north to this large temple. I think it was maybe the place you were talking about.
Oh yeah,
Vasily?
was it like a big obsidian pyramid?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
So I think that's where we must go, to the north.
I mean, what is it? It's like a temple, right?
Yeah, it's a that's all I know. It's a temple where I guess they maybe mess around with raising the dead.
Well, so
Be
it's
the
not
best
like
bet.
a good temple, then it's like a bad temple.
If
Right?
you're wanting to stop the apocalypse, I mean, stopping the apocalypse makes more sense than killing Mordenheim, because you're not gonna be able to do that.
You're right. Then I'll give Mercy a look like,
Ridiculous.
Mercy fake laughs a little too long.
Oh my
Sarah
gosh.
leans
I
over
nudge
to
Mercy.
Neferet and just being like, should we laugh too? Should we?
No, I believe this is an inside joke.
Okay. Right. Okay, cool.
And Nefert is half paying attention because they're paying attention to whatever the heck's happening with Shadow.
You are paying attention to something else, aren't you?
Yep.
It
What's
takes
my
a little
shadow up
while
to?
it takes a little while of Ursula walking and pacing the bottom floor and peeking out windows, peeking through the gates. We should make a run for it when it's clear. What do you think?
I mean, does it look like it's ever gonna be clear, or?
Give me perception.
17?
No. It never looks clear enough to walk out in the middle of the streets. Instead, you see the remains of a steadily dwindling population as each of them are cut down by these fiendish hordes. You can hear the revving of infernal engines and see these war machines riding through the streets, the same types of war machines that you took some shots at on top of a train not too long ago. You can see the dead falling to the earth and rising again.
I say to no one in particular, just love the sound of my own voice. Mercy is going to love that. Yikes. Is there like... Alright, I'll turn to Ursula. Not looking the clearest out there, but do you have a plan?
I usually have my way of getting in and out of places, but perhaps it would be better to go through the top floors, never out into the street. Many of these buildings are connected.
Well, let's give it a shot then. Because to be honest, I do not know how to use this thing. I'll just like fling the gun around.
Mm-hmm. And she'll lead you up the stairs to these shuttered windows and steadily peeks outside of one. And then it looks clear. after you.
All right, I'll peek for myself.
Does Neferet's shadow make itself known?
In the corner of Vargis's eyes.
Now that Vargis knows that he's being followed by someone, I'm just gonna be like, I'll look at it.
I'm rolling against your earlier stealth, Neferet. And Ursula will look over your shoulder. What is it? Are you nervous? It is not that high.
No, I just, a bit of hair got on my. Yeah, it's just okay. We'll go. Best not to delay.
Excellent. After you.
All right.
And she inclines towards the window.
I will go first.
Athletics. It's a small jump, not even 5 feet. So you should be able to leap from one balcony to the next.
Okay, it's gonna be a 12.
A 12, you make it, hands scuffling against that alabaster balcony rail, and pull yourself up just as a trio of imps begin to dance their way through the street below you. And Ursula leaps from the balcony to the next after you. And it's like, oh, that was very well done.
I'll take the compliment. I'll just take the compliment. Where next?
Well, we will want to go east, so we should get a move on.
Okay. Lead the way.
And she kicks open the shutters of the window and then proceeds through the next house. For the party at the fort, what are your plans? Neferet, do you share Vargis's journey?
In a way that doesn't show that I know exactly where he is.
How?
Why don't you paint me a word picture there?
Yeah. They'll go, well, considering the situation outside and what I saw during my watch overnight, the most straightforward route that sticks to side streets or through buildings rather than main roads where the fiends are would probably lead your friend to and we'll say a general direction or general intersection or space in the city. If we would like to meet with him, that is probably our best bet.
Would anybody like to roll insight to see if they can tell if Neferet knows more than they are letting on?
Mercy is
Free
just
to do
like,
so.
I believe her.
I would like to, because I'm smart now.
Neferet, please roll deception.
Okay.
Technically, you are not lying. You are merely concealing that you.
Yeah, but
No.
this is a lie.
Yeah.
You know. Okay.
It's like, I don't know if I were watching him right now, which I'm not.
Yeah, essentially.
If I had him on a baby cam. It's like Neferet just picks up a Dixie cup that's just like got a string hanging. It's just like, no, I have no idea where Vargis is, but if I had to guess, probably this latitude and longitude. All right.
This exact spot right here. Vargis, turn your location on. I want to talk.
Yeah, just like holds up
Vargis
Google
has
Maps.
life 360.
Vargis has checked in.
Vargis has entered the chat.
Neferet, what was your deception?
14 plus 9, which is a 23.
You have +9 deception?
My
I can't wait to
expertise.
marry you.
Oh, I got a 21. I have +8 to insight. Which, dang it. But I tried. So yeah, I guess checks out.
What about
Yeah,
Sarah?
I got a solid 15.
Yeah,
so...
no, I'm a charisma rogue with
Oh.
expertise and
I
deception.
thought you were gonna say you were a professional liar, and I was like,
No, that's
I mean,
Vargis.
Neferet might be.
You don't know
sounds
anything
like-
about Neferet.
You know what? I created this character, and I don't know anything about Neferet. That's how good they are. All right. So, what would everybody like to do in the fort? Everybody in the fort like to do. You don't have to stay in the fort. You can do what you want.
How many members of the Green Hand escaped the carnage?
Lisa, roll a d20.
Don't make me responsible. I
I
don't
know,
know if
you'll
this is how many are dead or alive.
You're the one who will tell the truth.
6.
There are 6 current members inside of the fort.
Okay, I'm going to go and Sarah's gonna probably halfway through the awkward laughter. Sarah's gonna go slip off and find some of the others.
Yeah, you find we're gonna call him Garanel, a slightly dusty robed, taller male figure. Like most people in the Green Hand, there is the aura of a cursed nature, and when they turn towards you, they have this very feline-like, panther-esque air to them, with curved ears and a long tail, powerful haunches, and a human face. Everything else is a panther, though.
Hi, Garel, could you follow me just a little way over?
All right, but we are preparing for Ursula's funeral, so whenever you want to take your part in that,
Why are we preparing for her funeral?
Oh, she did not come back from her mission. We found her
Oh,
body outside of the city.
Okay, fine, that's fine. I'll deal with it later. It's no big deal.
Of course.
Right. Just over here, and then the minute I'm out of eyesight of everyone, it just sort of that nervous hunch sort of just melts. Okay. Right. I need you to go out. I need you to get me information about what's going on out there,
Of course, Commander.
and I need you to get me a little bit more information about that bounty.
I will do what I can. The she-wolf?
Yes.
Do you have contact for her?
Oh, she's here right now.
Excellent. Shall we check the live or dead price?
Like I've said, I'm not really a killing type, but whichever gets us more money. She's unfortunately still allied with the menagerie, so we have to go with Plan B.
Is a pity, but we will do what we must. And he gives an elaborate bow and stalks out of the fort.
Good luck. Don't come back empty-handed.
I will not disappoint you, Commander.
Good, you know what happens to those who do. And then I leave.
Okay. What are our final thoughts as we near the end of the session?
Vasily wants to kind of sit down in the corner again to kind of think, because she's not really into running out into the streets right now. But she wants to kind of like reach into her pocket and kind of squeeze Vargas's pinky to see if she can kind of get any kind of response. I don't know if they have like a pinky connection, but she's just like desperate. Like, I don't know where he is or what's going on.
I
friends.
will.
Pinky friends.
It's more like this.
She like,
I will permit you to travel the psychic connection of the gesh you have put on Vargas, but the price will be heavy.
I just wanted to squeeze it and see if he would squeeze back.
Why would he squeeze back, Vasily? He does not have a pinky.
See, I already have like a big cost from earlier. You said.
What if
Gosh,
I gave him
I
like
know.
phantom
It's
limb
almost
pain
like-
or something?
It's almost like relying on a lich's phylactery as a magical easy button is bad.
What if it does give him like phantom limb pain? He just is like, my pinky hurt me. He will think of you though.
I'm sure his thoughts are with you.
I'll do it.
Thoughts and prayers.
Oh my god.
All right.
I'll do it because I'm worried about, like, Vasili's actually worried about Vargis. She's grown fond of him. And
What do
also,
you-
he has a gun that was very expensive
Yeah.
Expensive. You paid 5 electrum and some pocket trash for
and
it.
a lot of shame.
You had baked ziti.
I sweated a lot.
She
And
did
you
sweat a lot.
destroyed that shop.
Yeah, so think of the cost of that.
Yeah, she
Anyways,
was
I'll do it.
Have to
and that's
pay.
a lot.
I'm gonna do it.
Why are you like this? All right. You can do it because this is part of your earlier Gesh spell. I will add only a 5% increase on a future dark powers check.
Okay. Are you
So
noting that or do I
instead
need
of-
to note that?
I know I've noted it. Don't
Okay, cool.
worry. So instead of a 25% chance, you are up to 30% chance of failure. for
Jesus,
your next
Kayla.
dark powers check.
You're at
I drank a
30%.
phylactery. I am on the path to villainy. It's just, I'm crossing the line.
Vasily is back on her
you-
bullshit. Let
You
her
do
have
need
it.
to remember that if you get too far,
I
you're
know.
gonna start losing agency of your character.
I'm
gonna
big
start
scared.
taking it.
I'm
Okay?
big scared. I just wanted to squeeze the pinky.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up. Just make sure, get our bases covered. All right. You squeeze the pinky, and there is a sense that travels out from you like a spider's web. It is not entirely similar to the network that you have created with your children, and yet it is not terribly different. And as you travel, your consciousness travels on this spider web, you can feel the pull at the other side, like an electric jolt. It is this power that connects the two of you, this Gesh. You have ridden along the remnants of this magical connection that would punish Vargis should he speak of any of your secrets, including this pact. And you have this sensation of running through buildings, and you know that you are traveling east, but you also have a sensation of being watched. Vargis, you too have a sensation that aches in the palm of that right hand. Travels up your arm, a jolt not terribly unlike your burns that are gone. And you know that you are in a fort. You are surrounded by people, by deception. And there is something in you that feels a presence both in this room and on the other end. And like that.
Oh, I have a question though.
Yeah.
Am I able to tell just from that if I am going in the right direction?
What do you think is the right direction?
Do I have a feeling like this is, as I'm moving, the sensation is getting farther away from me, or I'm getting closer to it?
You are getting closer.
Okay. But I just get the sensation of a warehouse. Like, does the feeling of being watched, is it the same as the one I have now?
Yes.
Okay. So the person who is
No.
watching me is in the
Yes.
It's in
Okay.
the room.
And yet
the call was coming from inside the house.
Vasily does not know, but it is a similar sensation where she is. You
Okay.
know that there is a watcher, the same watcher, on both ends. And this web is getting shorter.
Okay. Okay. I will say nothing, but it will be weird.
All right.
And I have a feeling I will know that it's Vasily. Because the pinky is gone.
Anyone else?
Yeah, that was really weird because, I mean, unless I'm misremembering, I definitely remember killing Mordenheim. It was weird.
Lisa, you're muted.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, no, now I have to say that all again.
It was very cute.
It was very cute.
Okay, Mercy's going to go over to Constantina. And she's going to say, is it just me, or is Vasily acting kind of weird?
Yes. It was very weird. It's worth doing this over again.
Oh, yeah, I guess I heard you. And then she'll say, so we're just seeing is that when I went into her head, all of her thoughts were organized like these little vials, and it was so cute. And it was very neat. Oh, but one was dirty, which was terrible. And also, when I looked at the thought, her entire memory had changed.
Wait, her thoughts are like vials? Like in her head?
Yes,
What?
like a little laboratory, little vials all in a row.
I mean, that is very endearing, but I mean, you went inside of her head, like, not like physically, right? Like with magic? And like...
I don't know how it works. I'm a sorcerer. I just do it.
No, that makes sense. Sometimes my magic works a little bit differently, and it's a little different for everyone. I mean, do you think that someone has messed with her memories or something?
Something has changed. Something has happened, and I'm worried about her, but I'm also worried if I force it too much, she will get confused and it'll hurt her somehow. I don't know what to do. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I want her to, know the truth about things, because I don't want to have to lie to her. But it seems weird that that's, of all the things that she wanted to remember, that memory would be gone. It also just happened, like...
Right? And I don't know, do you think it might be something because it was so traumatic seeing Mortenheim die? I feel really bad, and I thought she forgave me. Let's wait until we find Vargis, and we can ask him if he remembers the same thing, and if he does, we can have a memory intervention for Vasily.
I mean, that sounds good. Do you feel like I mean, I guess we wouldn't know if any of our memories were affected, right?
Oh
like,
no, we wouldn't know.
I know, what if there's things that we're also forgetting?
Oh no.
I know, I don't like that I just had that realization. Maybe I could just, forget that.
Mercy starts, repeating her entire life to herself.
I know, this is how old I am. I don't even know what year it is.
This is my name. This is when I was born.
Yeah. She starts trying to remember her goth ballet recital. All right.
Yes.
Vasily, before we sign off for the night, which I'll do another round making sure everybody's fine. You have lost 3 memories.
Mm-hmm.
What are they?
She forgets having that lovely breakfast with Constantina and Juniper and Yarrow.
Oh, no.
No.
And she
lovely.
forgets... I think she would forget... the night with Pandora, when Pandora kind of told everybody, or I think it was just, not everybody was there. Mercy wasn't there.
Mercy
it might have
was
just
gone.
Was Constantina there?
Yep.
Constantina
And Vargis was there, I think.
He was asleep.
So she forgets that moment where she experienced like extreme feelings with another person. And she forgets falling into the pit with Thaddeus and being like made to think of her darkest desires and what they were at the time.
Yeah,
forgets.
while escaping Constantina.
Mm-hmm. She forgets those.
She forgets running away from her problems to face other problems.
No, that's always happening. You can't escape that.
I'm more than just a problem. Thank you very much.
She forgets 3 things that are like very important to her emotionally. So those things are blocked off now. Things that like caused her to open up.
Next session, I will tell you what replaces those memories.
Cool.
Anyone else have any plans?
Sarah's just sort of keeping an eye on the rest of the group, watching and helping prepare for whatever they want to do. Sort of
Mercy.
nervously, just sort of like, do you need anything? We don't have a lot of supplies, but I mean, I can get you some. I could see what we have.
Mercy's overall plan is reconnect with Vargis. Everybody goes to the temple.
How about everyone else?
I mean, I kind of want to learn a little bit more about the green hand from Sorrow. So I don't know if there's, like, while we're preparing or whatever, if we can have some little casual conversations about this new organization and also why they left the menagerie.
Sorrow, is that something that you can encapsulate for us real quick?
The way Sorrow explains it is that everyone in the menagerie, or everyone in the Green Hand, had been ousted from the menagerie for, she likes to put it as creative disagreements. Essentially, everyone in the menagerie has some form of curse. And when the menagerie didn't exactly agree with how they accepted their curses, they formed a new group. She doesn't reveal who founded the Green Hand, and how they ended up here in Mudar, but she does stress that the Green Hand is a group that focuses on accepting curses and monsters for who they are and not trying to rehabilitate them. And one thing she very says specifically is, everyone else out there is, they're always going to see us as monsters. You're always going to see you as a monster. That's why we have this. We know we're monsters, but we're okay with that. And if that makes other people unhappy, then so be it.
And do I detect with my passive insight that this is truthful?
Roll a deception.
It
Sarah?
is truthful? That is
Yes.
everything I said was true.
Yes,
Everything I said was true.
that's true, but you still speak to her under an assumed identity, we'll say.
What?
What? Me? A liar?
I've just
Roll to code switch.
I'm like, how nice that TK allowed us an NPC who's just lovely and friendly and helpful.
Who's just a
Yeah,
good
no, that was a
person.
solid 7. My dice were like, you don't get to lie today.
Should I roll my insight or use my
You have a
passive?
passive, but Sorrow, what's your tell? What's your giveaway?
Ooh. I think it's the nervous, switching back into the sort of nervous persona. It takes a little while, and there are moments where the stutters and the little like sort of hunches sort of become, they look a little bit more forced than usual. And especially when she says that last bit about the green hand, you can see a little bit of that pretense drop, and her eyes behind the veil get a little bit more intense, and you could almost see like this stony expression just sort of like cross across her face as she says it. And she believes what she says with all her heart. She believes that the green hand is doing something good, but you can tell that that saying is said with more malice and vengeance than her face would let on.
What? Can't believe
Noted.
you're lying to us.
How dare you come on our show and you lie to us?
That's said to every single one of our NPCs.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like I haven't clicked. I don't think I brought in a single NPC that wasn't a liar.
What does that say about you, TK?
TK, you gave both of the guests for this arc things that cover their faces. I don't know what you expected, TK.
What does it say about y'all that I do it continuously and yet you trust me every time?
I know, right?
I know.
Dumbass
Okay, we get
hoes.
it. We're weak.
Ho juice.
All right, anybody else?
Nefret.
Oh.
Nefret just watches.
Cool. That's not ominous. I mean, not to me. I'm the DM, so it really doesn't matter to me.
Oh
But...
my
just
god.
watch.
Vargis wants to get to his traveling party. But I want to find the person that owns that glove. Before they get me.
Why would they get you? Why do you think that?
Because
Why
they're
do you
always getting me. They never
do you
leave me alone.
Why do you think I specifically make NPCs to get you anyway? It doesn't take you long because you started in the Eastern District to make it close to where the fort is, and Ursula looks down into the street from one of the balconies and glances over the roads, and I think perhaps it might be prudent for us to split up for a little while, but you go ahead into the fort and I will meet up with you later.
Who is this liar?
I'm gonna do like just one quick little teensy insight check. Just just real quick.
Come for me.
Just one,
Oh
just a
no.
teeny
Oh
one.
no.
Just a cool 15.
You do beat her cool 12. So there is something in the way that her eyes flicker to the street, and when you follow her gaze, you see a sort of cat-like individual, a large panther-like creature with a human face stalking the streets. And she glances down and then glances back to you. It would be prudent if you just went ahead and we will split up. I will scout for more people and send more people to the fort where they can be safe.
Just real quick, just another real quick one. Do I notice, like, because you mentioned that she has really bright colored clothes on and it's never really dark, are there any like stray hairs on her clothes? Like, like when you have long curly hair, your hair sheds.
Yes.
Do I see like
course.
a stray hair?
Roll, I guess, investigation. You're specifically looking for stray hairs, or you're just giving a once-over?
I am specifically looking for stray hairs.
Investigation, yeah.
Investigation, 18.
There are none.
Okay. I mean, I really just wanted to get out of trouble, so I don't care what happens to her. So, can I use this investigation to? Is this really like? Do I feel like this is the right place to be? Actually, I don't care. I'm going inside the fort.
And
With the gun.
why don't you? How would you like to? Do you want to get in fast or you want to get in stealthy?
Wait, I'll do stealth. Stealthy.
All right, roll it.
It's not bad. 13.
17. Excellent. It is as you are beginning to skulk your way past the high walls lined with iron spikes that protect the warehouse that has become the fort of the Green Hand. That is when you hear the rattle of metal armor. That is when you hear the heavily booted footsteps. That is when you see the clouds of sand and dust that kick up as a small force of armored individuals in these ornate golden falcon themed helmets march up to you in a phalanx, and they square their shields and lower their spears. One steps forward. Vargis Blackstone?
Maybe. Who's asking?
The High Judge requests your presence in the Temple of Mudar.
I don't know who that is, but if it's about stealing, I didn't. So I found those bags.
We require the company of you and your companions.
Okay, which companion? Because I just had the one, and she's outside, I think. And then there are some others. Not entirely sure where they are. They were supposed to wait for me, but they didn't. So.
One unrolls a sort of starch paper list, starts listing off names. The Constantina
Close enough. Yeah, I know that one. Let's go.
The Mercy Albrecht, the Vasily Wizard,
Vasily Wizard.
and then it's just like small blots. It's
you said Vasily. It's actually No, we don't have time for this. Just change your name to something else.
Yeah.
Sure. You guys look well armored.
Where are your companions?
I don't know. Listen, there are people screaming outside and being ripped apart, and frankly, I don't want that to be me. And you look like a strapping young man, and I think you can protect me because I do not know how to use this. I'll like pick up the gun the wrong way.
Ice cream gun. And the phalanx opens to a sort of hollowed center, and he inclines with his arm. Please accompany us.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna ask questions this time. Question: is it normal to see people with like animal bodies and people heads? Because I've seen the opposite, but I just saw that outside. I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, we do not have time.
Okay, we can talk about it all the way there. We'll just talk about it later.
This is what Neferet's shadow relays to her or them when it returns. And this is where we end this episode.
F in the chat for Ursula.
Rip.
Oh, actually, damn,
No, go ahead.
Before I get in, like, can I peek and see if, like, she's out there? She dropped, like, that, whatever instrument she had?
If she's still, like, wearing the instrument that was strapped across her back, or...
Yeah, or, like, if she put it down, if she's still there, like...
You want to check the window before you leave?
Yeah.
To see if she came out in the street? Give me a perception.
18.
You do not see her.
Oh well. Better than me. And then I'll continue on my journey to desert jail. Probably.
All right.
Safe.
Desert jail.
Yeah, desert jail.
All right, my dears. That is the end of our episode for today. So let's go ahead and go down the row for outros. Let's start with Mixiana.
That was fun. I revealed myself to be not as cool as one may think. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's cool.
What's
I'm
hiding
just
under your
watching.
mask?
I'm just watching.
That's why your
Mhm.
mask is so big. It's full of secrets.
Full of illithid tentacles.
No, yeah, I'm just watching. That's all I do. It's cool. But yeah, this was super fun. Super excited for next time. Who knows what'll happen then? But until then, y'all find me over on Twitter, kind of as that's what I'm doing when I'm not here. I am also the co-creator of the TTRPG Safety Toolkit. So if you want to learn more about these cards and the safety systems that were used on stream, as well as many more, which can be used to help make your game safer, more comfortable, better overall, go check that out and go support it. And my co-creator, Lauren Bryant Monk.
So, Ms. Mackenzie?
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Lane Day on Twitter. This was so much fun. Sorrow is still a sweet bean. I don't know what everyone in chat's upset about. You can find me over on Twitter at Mackenzie Lane DA. You can also find me in the DM seat, DMing a Feywild game called Downside Up over on Socraticus Academy every Wednesday at 6 p.m. EST or EDT, because Daylight Savings Time happened. You can also check out my work over on D&D Beyond with MCDM for Kingdoms and Warfare, which is about to enter playtesting, so you can go to Twitter and sign up for that, and on DM's Guild. That's about it. You can find me here again one last time playing Sorrow the Sweet Shadow Bean, the sweetest, smallest Shadow Bean. So sweet, so innocent.
She was y'all's favorite. I don't understand.
Not
Ms.
anymore.
Ashley?
Just kidding. I enjoy playing with Mac a lot, but Sorrow is now on the list of betrays. Hi, I'm Ashley. You can find all my stuff at Twitter. Sorry, my brain is like not working right now. Ashley NH Warren, I believe, is my Twitter handle. From there, you can find out about the RPG Writer Workshop, because we have a lot of cool stuff, including a new course coming out next week. And on my website, scribemind.com, I've been running a poetry challenge for National Poetry Month. So if you need a fun creative outlet for the next couple weeks, you can still sign up and you can be part of our fun little writing group. It's totally chill, and yeah, it's been lots of fun during this weird time in the world. Yeah, that's it. That's me.
All right, Ms. Kayla.
Hi, I'm Kayla, and you can find me online at kaylaklein.com or at KAYNCLI. Instead of promoting anything I'm doing right now, I picked a small business that I think you should support. It's the Mothman Museum in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. You can buy things on their website at mothmanmuseum.com. You can buy Mothman hot sauce, but you should support them so they don't suffer from all the craziness.
I'm going there right now.
It's
Mothman
really cool.
hot sauce. It sounds
I swear to God, if you're lying, Kayla, I'm gonna be
I'm
so
not.
mad.
I just
I
ordered
saw it on
some.
Facebook.
But
Yeah,
their
so-
online
Jack,
store
thank you
is
for
still
putting the URL in the chat. I really
their
appreciate
online
that.
store is still up. Their whole business had to close for everything, and I think it would be nice to support them.
Well, okay. Ms. Lisa, do you want me to call
Sorry.
on you, or you want to come
Sorry,
back?
I'm looking at Mothman merch right now. I have been Lisa Penrose. I am brand manager for Dungeon Masters Guild, social media manager for D&D. If you want to support if you want to support Doctors Without Borders, I don't know how I was going to describe it in some other way. Support Doctors Without Borders right now. Dungeon Masters Guild has 2 really awesome bundles, charity bundles, where all 100% of proceeds go to Doctors Without Borders. Each of those are a $20 donation. One bundle is all Adventurously content if you play in the D&D official play campaign. The other one is packed with player options, adventures, new rules and mechanics, and different little systems to put into 5th edition D&D. You're going to find something that you like in one of them. So if you're able to donate $20, and you can score yourself some really awesome stuff at a very big discount. I think it's 80% off for those bundles. Those are going on for at least another week. If we can keep momentum going with the bundles, we're going to keep them up longer. So please support them. Please let people know about them. You can find those at dungeonmastersguild.com. And then if you enjoyed this show, please follow and support us as well. It's at Miss Tales D&D on Twitter, or talesfromthemist.com, where you can find links to stuff like our Discord page.
Ms. Hadil.
It me, your friend Hadil. Sorry for my mouse clickies. I was also looking at the Mothman website. You can follow me on Instagram at Twitter such TWITTYSUCH because my Twitter is locked for the time being. And it's nobody's business as to why. But just miserable. I want to go outside. When will my ability to go to the mall and walk around return for more? Nobody knows. Support, I guess, the Mothman Museum. I'm not doing anything. Anyway, love you. Bye.
And I'm TK Johnson. It's me, it's TK. Write spooky stories on the internet. If you like spooky stories, then you can read them at my website, tkjwrites.com, or you can follow me on Twitter, TK Joins the Fray. I stream sometimes. I don't know. I haven't been streaming lately because I've been working. I'm not going to stream tomorrow. I said I was going to, but I have to work. Whatever. And then I'm going to watch Tiger King because I'm in quarantine and I do what I want. If you want to support another small business, check out Friday Afternoon Tea. We have a Mistwalkers bundle set there. It's very cool with different teas that are inspired by each cast member. Very awesome. All of the labels are designed by our Kayla Klein, so it's a great time. They are a small business. They deliver and support small businesses in this trying time, please.
Yeah, she also has a bunch of RPG class inspired teas.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love the Paladin blend.
Yes.
So please check out Friday.
Beautiful stuff. It was a very delightful time today. We had another picnic, ate some rats, had another sleepover in a fort, traded secrets, made some new friends. Next week we will see you again in the mists.
Sleep well, Mistwalkers.